Welcome to the Cenario podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, I think we can all relate to that feeling, when you haven't slept well. It's like you're running on fumes. But what happens when those sleepless nights become a regular thing?
Yeah, it's not just about feeling a little groggy.
That's exactly what we're diving into today, sleep deprivation. And we're going deep, like really deep, beyond just, I'm tired.
Right, because it affects us in ways we don't even realize.
Exactly, and that's why you sent in all this research. You want to understand why sleep matters so much.
It really is fascinating. Most people think of sleep as just rest for our bodies.
Yeah, time to recharge.
Well, it is that, but
Yeah.
it's also so much more. It's like when we sleep, that's when our brains do all the important stuff.
The behind-the-scenes work.
Yeah, like consolidating memories, repairing tissues, making sure everything's running smoothly.
So it's like a nightly tune-up for like the whole system.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start with the basics then. What exactly is sleep deprivation?
I mean, it's more than just feeling a little sleepy, right? It's about consistently not getting the amount of sleep, the sleep that your body and your mind actually need. And the thing is, there are different types of sleep deprivation.
Wait, hold on. Types.
Yeah.
I thought sleep deprivation was just, not getting enough sleep, period.
Yeah, it's not quite that simple. Think of it like this. There's acute sleep deprivation. That's like the occasional all-nighter.
Like back in the college days.
Exactly. Short-term, intense, but you bounce back pretty quickly.
Okay, so that's the I pulled an all-nighter type.
Right, and then there's chronic sleep deprivation.
Okay.
And this is where it gets a little, serious. This is when the sleep loss, becomes a pattern, like over weeks, months, even years.
Okay, so that's the I haven't slept properly in ages scenario.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, now what about, you mentioned a few types. What was the other one?
Oh, right. Sleep deficiency. This one's kind of sneaky.
Okay.
It's like you might be spending enough time in bed, but the quality of your sleep, it's not great.
Ooh.
So maybe you're tossing and turning all night. Or, maybe there's a sleep disorder going on. Something's preventing you from getting that truly restful, deep sleep.
So even if I'm clocking in my 8 hours, I could still be sleep deficient.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, that's unsettling. But all right, let's say you are sleep deprived, one way or another.
Right.
What are the effects beyond, yeah, we know you're tired, but what does it actually look like in your everyday life?
Yeah, so one of the things that's really, alarming is that the effects, they're really far-reaching. We're not just talking about yawning at work here.
Right, it's got to be more than that.
It's like sleep deprivation impacts, well, pretty much everything. Your physical health, your mental well-being, even how you interact with people.
So it's not just about being a little grumpy in the morning.
No, not even close.
All right, so break it down for me. What are we talking about here?
Okay, well, physically, it can really weaken your immune system.
Okay, so you're more likely to get sick.
Exactly. And it increases your risk for, well, a lot of things. Heart disease, weight gain, even has connections to diabetes. It's like your body's just working overtime just to kind of keep up.
And it can only do that for so long.
Right.
Okay, so physically,
Yeah.
not good. What about mentally? I'm guessing it doesn't help with focusing.
Oh, absolutely. Sleep deprivation makes it incredibly difficult to concept,
I can imagine.
to remember things,
Yeah.
to learn new things. And honestly, think about it. How can you make a good decision, at work? Or how can you learn something new if your brain is just, running on empty?
Totally.
And then on top of that, you're more likely to feel anxious, irritable, even depressed.
It's like sleep deprivation sets off this chain reaction of negative effects,
Yeah.
and it affects your whole life.
It really does.
And speaking of your whole life, the research also mentioned social impacts.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like, how does that play out?
Well, let's be honest. When you're exhausted, you're probably not the most patient person.
You're not winning any nicest person of the year awards.
Exactly. You're more likely to snap at your partner, get frustrated with the kids, It's like you have less empathy for your coworkers.
So it's not just about you. It affects the people around you too.
It really does.
And it all stems from sleep. It's crazy how something that seems so simple is actually so crucial for, well, everything.
It is. And to make things even more complicated, there's the whole hormonal piece.
Hormones. Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Tell me more about this hormonal havoc.
So it's like a hormonal roller coaster. Sleep deprivation just throws everything off balance. Like it disrupts a bunch of hormones. These hormones are super important for our mood, our appetite, just how we feel overall.
So, like, which hormones are we talking about?
Oh, the big ones, cortisol, ghrelin, leptin, melatonin, all the hits.
Okay, I'm gonna need a little refresher here. Remind me what those guys do again.
All right, so let's start with cortisol. That's our stress hormone, right? When you don't sleep enough, your cortisol levels, they just shoot up. So you end up feeling wired, anxious. Even though you're exhausted, it's like your body is stuck in this fight or flight mode.
So you're telling me that not sleeping enough can actually make me more stressed?
Yeah, kind of ironic, right?
A little bit.
And then you've got ghrelin and leptin. These two are all about your appetite.
Okay.
Ghrelin, that's the hunger hormone. When you're sleep deprived, ghrelin is like, let's eat.
Just going crazy.
Yeah, and then leptin, the one that tells you you're full, well, it kind of takes a back seat.
Oh, no.
So no wonder it's hard to resist those late night cravings.
It's not just me being weak.
No, it's biology.
My body is working against me.
Exactly. And then to make matters worse, there's melatonin.
Yep.
The hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep.
Yeah.
Well, sleep deprivation messes with that too. It's like a vicious cycle, right?
Totally. It's like you don't sleep, so your hormones go haywire.
Yeah.
And then your hormones make it harder to sleep.
Exactly.
So the fatigue, the mood swings, the cravings, it all kind of makes sense now. But what about the long term? Like, does all this hormone stuff, does it have lasting effects?
That's the thing. Research shows there could be a connection between, being chronically sleep deprived and, well, developing all sorts of chronic conditions.
Oh, no. Like what?
Think like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, even some cancers. It's serious stuff.
That is pretty scary.
It is.
Okay, well, the research also mentions this thing called the glymphatic system
Oh, yeah.
and how sleep deprivation, it kind of messes with that too. Can you explain that a little?
Yeah, so the glymphatic system, think of it like your brain's cleaning crew. During sleep, it's flushing out all the toxins and waste products that have been building up all day.
Oh, interesting.
And one of those waste products is this protein beta amyloid, and that's been linked to Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So we don't sleep, our brain can't clean itself properly.
Right. And if those harmful proteins, they just keep building up, it can lead to cognitive decline, increase the risk of neurodegenerative diseases.
Okay, wow. This is getting a little heavy.
It is.
It's not just about feeling refreshed. It's about protecting your brain long term.
Exactly.
Okay, well, before we get to solutions, I'm curious. Does sleep deprivation, does it affect everyone the same way?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, what about different age groups? Does it affect them differently?
So, yeah, everyone needs sleep, that's for sure.
Right.
But the effects, they can vary depending on how old you are. Like for kids and teenagers, lack of sleep can actually hinder their growth and development.
Really?
Yeah, affect their schoolwork, lead to behavioral problems. And then adults, well, we've talked about that, less productive, more stressed, higher risk for those chronic diseases. And then older adults, it can make cognitive decline worse, increase their risk for falls and other accidents.
So it's kind of tailored to your stage of life in a way.
It is, and it kind of shows how important sleep is across our whole lifespan, right?
Definitely.
Like we need to pay attention to it as we age. But, it's not just our internal clocks that affect sleep. Our environment plays a huge role too.
Okay, like what do you mean?
Well, these days, there's this one major culprit that's messing with our sleep more than ever: technology.
Oh, I was wondering when we were going to get to that.
The screens.
The screens, yes. Tell me more.
Research is pretty clear. That blue light that comes from our phones, tablets, computers, it tricks our brains into thinking it's still daytime.
Right.
So it suppresses melatonin production, the sleep hormone we were talking about.
So even if I'm just scrolling through social media in bed, I'm actually making it harder to fall asleep.
Yeah, it's not just the light, though. It's the content, too.
Yeah.
Like engaging with emails, news, social media, it keeps your brain active, makes it harder to wind down.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like we're always on, even when we're trying to switch off.
That fear of missing out, even if we're missing out on sleep.
Exactly. And there are things we can do to minimize the impact technology has. Even small things like dimming our screens at night.
Okay.
Using blue light filters, that can help.
Okay, good to know. What else? Any other tips for taming the technology beast?
I think the best thing is to just create a tech-free zone in the bedroom. Avoid screens for at least an hour before bed. Give your brain a chance to unwind.
Easier said than done.
I know.
But you're right. Maybe that hour could be used for something else, like reading a book or taking a bath, relaxing stuff.
Exactly. Create a bedtime routine that tells your body it's time to wind down.
Okay, I like that. So let's talk about another area where I feel like sleep deprivation hits hard, the workplace.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Like trying to focus after a bad night's sleep, it feels impossible.
Yeah, it's not just a feeling.
Right.
The research shows, when you're sleep deprived, your concentration it just tanks.
I can only imagine.
Decision-making is impaired, you make more mistakes, you're less creative, less productive, more likely to experience burnout.
It's like you're running on autopilot, but the autopilot is malfunctioning.
Exactly. And, on a larger scale, this lack of productivity because of sleep deprivation, it costs businesses a ton of money every year.
Really?
Yeah. Lost revenue, increased healthcare costs.
It's like a ripple effect.
It is.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot. Different types of sleep deprivation, the effects it has, hormones, technology. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds, well, a little grim.
It can be.
But let's talk about solutions now. Is it as simple as just catching up on sleep? Like, is that all it takes?
I wish. It would be nice.
Right.
Catching up on sleep can help in the short term,
Okay.
but it's not a long-term solution. The key really is to build healthy sleep habits, address any underlying issues that might be causing your sleep problems in the first place.
Okay, so where do we start? What does the research say?
There are a few strategies that can make a big difference. First and foremost, make sleep a priority.
Put it on the to-do list.
Exactly. Treat it like a non-negotiable. Like, eating healthy and exercising, part of your routine.
Schedule it in if you have to.
Right. And along with that, try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day.
Even on the weekends?
Even on the weekends. That helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
Okay.
It's all about consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who just, we struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep? What do we do?
Well, that's where sleep hygiene comes in. Think about creating a space that's really relaxing and inviting.
Turn your bedroom into a sleep sanctuary.
Exactly.
I love it.
Keep your room dark, quiet, cool. Make sure you have a good mattress, comfy pillows. And, maybe think about a relaxing bedtime routine, like taking a warm bath, reading a book, listening to some calming music. Anything to signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
All right, no screens.
No screens, yeah.
Check. Cool, dark room. Check.
Yeah.
What about those late night snacks? Any tips for resisting?
Yeah. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed. They can mess with your sleep quality.
Got it.
And try to have your last meal a couple hours before you go to bed. If you get hungry, have a light snack.
No midnight ice cream raids.
Exactly.
Okay, so the research mentioned something about naps actually being helpful.
Yeah, naps get a bad rap.
I thought those were just for, kids and grandparents.
Oh, strategic napping can be really beneficial, actually. Like a short nap, 20-30 minutes in the early afternoon.
Okay.
That can boost your alertness, reduce fatigue, and it won't mess up your sleep schedule. Just avoid napping too late in the day.
Got it. So naps, good in moderation.
Exactly. Just like everything else.
What about exercise? I know working out is good for us, but does it affect sleep?
Yeah, it can. Regular exercise definitely improves your sleep quality.
Okay, good.
But timing matters. Try to finish your workouts a few hours before you hit the hay.
No intense gym sessions right before bed.
Exactly. That post-workout adrenaline rush is not going to help you fall asleep.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I know a lot of people, they turn to supplements to help them sleep. What does the research say about that?
Yeah, there are definitely some natural supplements that can be helpful.
Okay, good.
But it's super important to remember, they're tools, not magic bullets.
Right.
Talk to your doctor before you start taking anything new. They can help you figure out what's right for you.
Makes sense.
Mm.
So what are some of the supplements people use?
Well, melatonin is popular. It helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle,
Right.
So supplements can be helpful for jet lag or just occasional sleep issues. Magnesium is another one. It can calm the body down, relax your muscles, which makes it easier to fall asleep.
Okay.
Valerian root is another one. It's an herb that's been used for a long time as a sleep aid. It's supposed to have a sedative effect.
Okay, I've heard of those. Anything else?
Yeah, there's L-theanine. It's an amino acid. It's found in tea, and it promotes relaxation,
Oh, interesting.
reduces stress, which can make it easier to fall asleep. So yeah, there are some natural options out there.
Cool. But what about, what if lifestyle changes in supplements? What if that's not enough?
Yeah, if you're still struggling, even after making changes, it's worth talking to a professional. Maybe you have a sleep disorder. like insomnia or sleep apnea, that needs specific treatment.
So it's okay to ask for help.
Absolutely. Sleep disorders are a lot more common than people think, and they're treatable. A sleep specialist can help figure out what's going on and recommend the best course of action.
So it's like anything else,
Mm.
when it comes to your health. If you're struggling, talk to an expert.
Exactly.
All right, well, it really highlights how complex sleep is and how important it is to, I guess, advocate for our own sleep health.
It really is. It's not about willpower. It's about understanding the science, understanding what can happen if you don't get enough sleep, and then knowing what strategies work.
Okay. So to wrap things up, what are some key takeaways you want listeners to remember from today?
Well, first, sleep deprivation is not something to brag about.
Right, it's not a badge of honor.
No, it's a serious issue. It can affect your entire well-being, from your physical health to, your mental sharpness, your relationships, everything.
It's not just about being tired. It's about protecting your health.
Yeah, for now and for the future.
Exactly. And I think it's important to point out that prioritizing sleep, it's not a luxury. It's an investment.
It is. It's an investment in everything.
Yeah, your energy, your focus, your mood, your relationship.
Your happiness.
Yeah. Like, think about it this way. You wouldn't just neglect your car, right?
Right.
And expect it to run forever.
Exactly. Your body and mind deserve that same kind of care.
And the good news is there's so much you can do to improve your sleep.
Yeah, there is.
Like we talked about, creating a sleep schedule, a bedtime routine, limiting your tech use before bed, and trying out some of those natural sleep aids.
Even small changes can make a huge difference.
Huge difference. And if you're still struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help. Talk to a sleep specialist.
There's no shame in it.
They're there to help you get the rest you need. You deserve good sleep.
You do.
Speaking of fighting for good sleep, have you heard about Cenario?
Oh, yeah, I love Cenario.
They have a great selection of natural sleep supplements.
They do.
They can help you get a good night's sleep.
And I really appreciate their approach. They're not just trying to sell you something. They really want to educate people about sleep.
Yeah, they're all about creating healthy sleep habits.
Exactly.
And, they have everything from falling asleep faster to improving your sleep quality.
Right.
Waking up feeling refreshed.
Yeah, and they've got tons of articles and tips on their website.
It's like having a sleep expert right there in your pocket. We'll include a link to Cenario in the show notes.
Perfect.
So if you're ready to make sleep a priority, check them out.
Definitely.
All right, well, before we wrap up completely, we want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
Now that you know all about sleep deprivation, how it impacts you, what's one thing you can change to improve your own sleep?
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a big change. Even small things can make a difference.
Yeah, like setting a consistent sleep schedule, maybe putting your phone away an hour before bed, creating that relaxing bedtime routine.
Exactly.
Commit to making that one change and see how it affects your sleep and how it affects you overall. I think you'll be surprised.
You will.
All right, well, that's it for our deep dive into the world of sleep deprivation. We hope you learned something. And, more importantly, that you feel empowered to take control of your sleep.
Absolutely. Sleep well, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.